Hello, I'm Azma Shah from Drupak and I'm with a brand new series and I have named it Drupal WOWS. And honestly speaking, I'm not a native English speaker, but I had to consult ChatGPT for this name. And this is that question which I asked: is Drupal WOWS a good title for a series of Drupal promotional videos I am going to start? So it said yes, and then it also said it's going to be memorable, positive, as well as flexible. So I just thought Drupal WOWS will be a good word for this series of episodes, where I will be trying to show the power of Drupal to mostly non-Drupalists, because those who have been in Drupal world know how powerful Drupal is. But for the outside world, maybe Drupal is not known to many, and these 10 to 15 or 20 minutes videos will be mostly no-code Drupal capabilities. And those of you who are in Drupal world, they know what site building is, but maybe to the people outside of Drupal world, they don't know what site building is. So actually, this series will have small clips of Drupal power and Drupal capabilities, and you can call it Drupal site building clips for Drupal promotional and educational purposes. So let's dive in. I will be very straightforward, very quick, in fact, so that I can cover a lot of stuff in this short duration of 10 to 15 minutes. And today I will start with something called self-referencing entities, or you might have heard something like self-referencing foreign keys, where the same table has all the records and the relationships are based on just one table. So let me give you a familiar example for self-referencing entities. One of them is employees or maybe managers of the employee. So all the records of the employee are in the same table, and this is the employee ID, an example: first name, last name, email. So we are not going to create these fields, or maybe just one field for you, so that you know how quickly we can create such fields in Drupal. So mostly it will basically be employee ID is the unique ID or primary key of the employee we are going to add, and then the manager ID. So this is that self-referencing foreign key in the structure. So this can be the same employee's ID but referred as foreign key in this table. So if I go further with the example, for example, this is the data in the table, and John Smith is CEO, so he does not have any managers. His manager ID will be null. But Jan Doe has a manager ID of 1, which means John Smith will be the manager of this particular employee. And similarly, Bob Wilson has a manager ID of 2, it means Jane Doe is the manager of. So this is all what self-referencing entities or self-referencing foreign keys. And let's quickly dive in to Drupal. I have Drupal CMS installed, and this is the front page of the Drupal CMS website. You can do it equally good in Drupal core or Drupal CMS, but I just chose to go with Drupal CMS. So let's start. We'll create a structure, and I'll call it, in the structure I'll go to content types, and we will call it employees. So in Drupal, if you have to create a table, mostly you are going to create a content type of custom entities. Here we are going to create a content type, and we are calling it employee, and the title field of the employee will be name, and that's it. And we will save and manage fields. So now we have created the name field for the employee. The ID, all of those will be self-generated. I will show you what I mean. But now we need an extra field, and that extra field will be, maybe just we want to create a salary field. So if I go to create a new field, and let us make it a number, and we'll call it salary, and it should be, maybe number is fine for now, and continue and save. So this is the salary field. By the way, we can edit it, and we can have suffix of $sign. It means the salary is in dollars. And if I now go to create an employee, so it has name and salary, but we need the self-referencing field as well, so that we can refer the same employee if he or she is the manager of this particular one. So we will again go to content types and manage fields. So here let us add another extra field. We'll call it it's going to be a reference field, and the reference is going to be to the content type. Here we'll call it manager, and continue. Here we need to let Drupal know which content type it needs to refer. So here it needs to refer itself, and that's the key point, and save. So we have created now a manager field and a salary field. And if we go to employee, and you can see now the name of the employee, salary, and manager. So if I come back to the example we had here, so John Smith does not have any manager. So let us add John Smith first. So John Smith, his salary is whatever, and the manager is going to be null, and we'll just create it. So we have created one employee, and his name is John Smith. Next, we'll create another employee, and maybe this is going to be Khalid. His salary is this, and now he's going to be subordinate of manager John Smith, and we'll save it. So what has this record done? He has made John Smith the manager of this employee, Khalid. And similarly, we can create more records, maybe another one, and it is Aman. His salary is this, and his manager also is John Smith, and we'll save it too. So let us create now an employee again, and maybe his manager is Khalid, so you can choose Khalid and save. Let's create a few more records. So it's going to be Isa is this, and maybe Aman is going to be his manager, and save. Let's create another one, Farman, and maybe Isa is this, and Isa is going to be his manager, and save. Now you can see we have created a few employees with different managers, and now we need to show all this record in the form of a table, for example. So in any application you may be querying database for it. In Drupal we have a visual query builder and display engine called WOWS, and which is a very powerful application, and you can say this is something for which people stay with Drupal. The power of WOWS is so much that I have heard people they are in Drupal just because of these data modeling and the capabilities of what WOWS model can do. So we'll create a new view. We'll click on views, add view, and we'll call it employees. So what it will do is it will show content of type employee, and we'll create a page. Page has a path actually, and if we need to change show it in the admin theme, we'll have the path admin/employees, and maybe we need to show 50 records, and save and edit. So here we need to show it in the form of tables, and apply. This fields section means the select query field, select this field, that field from a table. So this means this section means that. Then this is filter criteria, which is actually the where condition. This is sort criteria, which is actually sort by. So we are going we are showing, if I go to the bottom of the page, this is the preview section in views, so you can show the records. You can see what records you are fetching, and by the way, this is query, which you can see it is just SQL query, and on that basis it is showing it in the a tabular format like this. Now I need to show, this is just normal plain one-dimensional record. I need to show the title. I need to show the manager of all of these. So what I can do is I can because manager also is content title of the content type employee, but just like custom SQL queries in self-referencing joins, you need to have a self join so that we can refer we can fetch that record. So here in Drupal we will create a relationship, and the relationship will be through the manager field, content reference from manager, and we'll call it maybe tier 1. Okay, so we have established a relationship and we've called it tier 1. And now if I fetch the same title field again, which is actually employee name field, and if I use a relationship, so what does this mean? We are in the first tier of relationships with the same referencing entity, and it will show us immediate managers of that particular employee. So you can see John Smith does not have any manager, so his manager is empty, but the rest of the ones have managers, and they are being shown in the same. Let me just change it to manager tier 1, the title. So at any given time you can just check what this view will fetch. So this is manager tier 1. Now if I need to show who the manager of Isa is, in that case I need to have to create another relationship, and this is another hop, and I'll create another relationship, and this time I'm going to name it tier 2, and this one should be through the tier 1 relationship, and apply. So now we have created another self-referencing join, and I'll show you the title of the employee again, which is actually the name, and here we'll use the second tier, and the title should be second tier manager. So you can see now Isa has a manager whose name is Aman. And now let us go to the fourth one. So here again we will have a relationship to them through the manager field, and this time it is going to be tier 2, apply, and here we will have to fetch the field now, and this title field again, I will make it third tier manager or something like this, and apply. So now you can see Aman's manager is Farman. By the way, what field did I choose? I forgot to use the relationship. The relationship should be the third one, and I have not renamed it, so it has taken a default name. Let me give it a name of tier 3 so that you don't confuse things. And if I click the field again, you can see now the relationship is tier 3 and the label is the tier manager, and apply. So you can see now Farman has a manager Isa, Isa has a manager Aman, and Aman has the manager John Smith, and so on. I will save it. The view should be saved so that all the changes are intact. Now as you remember, I named it admin/employees, and if we go to the view page, you can see all the records in the relationship. And let me just quickly create another one, and maybe what's that going to be? Let us create a super manager, and maybe super boss, you can call him. His salary is this, and he should also have no manager, and we'll create. I just save the button. Now if you go to content and let us change John Smith, I think 2 is not going to be his name, so John Smith and his manager should be super boss, and save. Now if you go to the view, admin slash employees, I think this one, so you can see super boss has no managers, but John Smith now has a super boss as his manager. So this way you can create hierarchies, and all of this is just one content type with self-referencing. And how did we do it? We just if go to content types, employees manage field, so we have just this one magical field, which is field underscore manage, which refers itself to itself, and that is this employee. So that's all for today. In the next episode, we'll continue with creating related news with the same fashion, and that again will be the concepts of self-referencing entities or self-referencing joins or things like these in Drupal. Thank you very much.